Start again. Awesome. Hi, everyone. Hope you guys are doing really, really well. Today, we're going to talk about three things, really talk about what's going on with the market right now. Incredible market going on right now. And we talk about, you can feel a lot of greed is actually happening in the market right now. And I will show you by sharing my screen why you feel like, things is going where or where. Okay. We'll talk about what to do in the market right now. Should we buy? Should we sell? And to recap back some of the strategies that we talked about before. Hi, we have Nora, we have RJ, we have Abby, we have Carlo, we have Kim, we have Leo. No, nice, nice to see you guys. So how do I share my screen? Cool. So where are we? So if you look at a lot of things right now, that's kind of what happened. Let's really start all over again so you can literally have a look. So I just want to say well done for a lot of people who really committed to get really good at trading and investing, because you can see really no matter what happened to the economy, things always go higher and higher. Yeah, no matter it's World War One, World War Two, this is a internet bubble, this is a financial crisis, we got this in this is a corona crisis, inflation crisis, tariff crisis. This is where we are right now. Okay. This is probably another, whether it's a Fed crisis, where the Fed is coming in to increase the interest rate crisis. When Fed increase the interest rate, things would just be finished. Yeah. So that's kind of what happened. Now, what I want to show you, okay, let's do some analysis real quick because we have some new students here. So you can see using our step two training, step two progress, we draw a really nice trend line using our three step, a lot of touches, hope you remember, and a wider time frame and less steep. Yeah. However, on the daily time frame, you can still draw another trend line, which is just like that. So you draw a little bit of trend line here, you draw a trend line there, and then there's a trend line. So there's a recent bounce of the trend line a little bit just right there. Okay, there's a recent bounce of the trend line a little bit just right there. And that's step number two. Step number three, you really draw your support and resistance. So anything below you is your support. We have one support just at 660. This is a support where it's at the October time. And another top is just here. This is our resistance line a little bit. Okay, that's our resistance line. And step number five is where we draw some Bollinger Band. So if you remove the Bollinger Band, and if you put it on again, so this is where the Bollinger Band. And we talk about it quite a lot of times whenever we are away from the Bollinger Band. Bollinger Band is like a band. I'm so afraid the microphone is gonna die. So Bollinger Band is like a band, and so whenever it is away from the band, it tends to pull back in again. So this is what actually happened. It's away from the band, it pull back in. Away from the band, it's kind of pull back in. So we have away from the band here, a little bit of away from the band here, and it's a pull back in. So now we are kind of right here. Yeah, this is Bollinger Band. All right, it's part of your week 3 training. So that's kind of what happened. And right now, even though you think that the price is going up a little bit right now, I will tell you actually, if you're already investing, you will see that you're not actually making money, even though everything it looks like it's going up, but it's actually the same. If anything, it's actually coming down the past 1 week, especially as a foreign investor. If you're based in the UK or you're based in anywhere around the world that you're not in the US, everything is actually coming down. Yeah. Well, what do you mean? Because if you look at it carefully, as we talked about it last week, pound is getting a bit stronger against the dollar. So if you look at, because in order to make money, you don't just make money that way. You make money in many different ways. Your forex has to go up in order for you to make money like that. So last week we talked about seasonality a little bit. We talked about pound is kind of getting stronger, if you remember. So if I show you one more time, I will show you the recording, but it just take me time to go back there. So what do I do? GBP US dollar. Even on my website, you can type it, you can see it as well. I think pound sterling. Yeah, so this is January time. Okay, we show you that January time pound usually goes really strong against the US dollar. Yes, pound usually go quite strong against the US dollar. We talked about it last week. Remind me to share you the recording so I can actually show you. Actually, how can I show you? It's gonna take me time to show you that part, but I hope you remember. Okay, I hope you remember. This is just last week. It's talking about going up big time. So it's going up big time. So as a foreign investor, if you buy any US stocks, probably last week, you actually lose money. Yes. What do you mean by that? Yeah. If you buy any US stock last week, the week before, and stuff like that, when your pound is getting stronger, you will see that your P&L, your portfolio actually lose money. Yes. So what do you mean? So if I show you VUAA, it's actually VUAG for foreign investor. So you can see VUAG, which is what happened. So you can see for the whole 1 week, you're actually going down. You'll be like, oh, how is that even possible? With the stock is going up big time, but my money is not growing. If you so as I said, patience is so important right now, even though you feel a bit greedy right now. You feel like you want to get into the market right now. But if you see it carefully, 27th of January today, as a foreign investor, you are actually the same as foreign means as an investor that's not based in the US. You're actually exactly the same as where you were like 3, 4, 5 months ago. Yeah. So well done for sticking up to your patient and for really being disciplined. And you are very, very close now. Okay. We are very, very close to where we want. So I just want to point this out real quick. So that means even though like today, let's say as SP went up 0.5%. Okay. Let's say any stocks, okay, went up 0.5%. Like this guy went up 0.5%. But in reality, you are actually, because of the fact that pound sterling was going up 0.8%, if you have buy any American stocks, you would have lost 0.3% of your money. What? That's crazy. This is what most people do not know. They spend years and years and years and years that they will never be able to figure it out if they don't have a mentor, if they don't have a coach. So I want to say well done to you for realizing that. Yeah, because if you look at it carefully, you look at this and it's just going down like that. Yeah. So I just want to say it's really, really crucial to be disciplined, to stay online on your patient at the moment, because everyone in the world right now is getting quite impatient. If you go to our fear and greed a little bit, you will see that almost everyone in the world is getting quite a little bit impatient. They really want to do something right now. But if you see anyone who has done anything in the past 3 months, they wouldn't have gone anywhere. Yeah, they wouldn't have gone anywhere unless what? Unless they do what we told you on our Instagram. Because in our Instagram, or we kind of told you a little bit that actually even on the weekly call, or even in our, if in our call, we talk about what do we talk about? We talk about Trump was capping the interest rate of credit cards at 10%. Okay. And the companies that's going to affected by that the most, and we show that by the most is kind of 2 to 3 companies. This is like your what financial synchro, whatever that is. Yeah, synchrony financial. So a lot of our students, was getting into it, and since we posted the reel. So if you've been shorting that, then you will be making money like that. Okay. So you'll be making money like that. Even Capital One, you've been shorting that Capital One Financial Corp. What are these 2 companies? These are the companies that actually give, your interest, like your credit cards and stuff like that. Yeah. So you've been shorting that. We posted on Instagram reel a little bit. So that's kind of what happened. Lots of students who, they take advantage of it and stuff like that. Yeah. At this moment in time, um, for our apprentices, our most favorite strategy right now is actually, it sounds crazy and it sounds incredible. It sounds really crazy. And at this moment in time, our most favorite strategy right now is still our 8-step trading strategy. And one of our 8 step is that we kind of pay attention to one of the most powerful person in the world right now, which is, as much as we don't like to admit it, but it's actually Trump. Yes, it's actually Trump. So if you look at last year, we've got whatever happened in last year. If I show you what happened, US 500. If I just show you a little bit, so you can see, stock market was going nowhere last year, exactly the same as where we are today. This is 2024. And sometimes if you want to know exactly what happened, you just have to go back in time, exactly the same time to see kind of what happened. Most people wouldn't know that. So in 11th of November, and that's what happened December, that's what happened January, and what happened, it went up big time at the end of January, it went up big time, and then almost February it went sideways again. And what really pulled the plug is where Trump literally come out and literally say, you know what, guys, let's get the tariff on, and went down big time. And then halfway through, he said, guys, you know what, we're not gonna apply the tariff at the moment. We're gonna do it next week or whatever that is, 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, and then it becomes the bottom. And we use our powerful trading strategy. If you remember one of our training, we talk about the volume spike here. Yeah, volume spike here and big time. And all of our strategy hit really nicely here. Open insider was crossing just right here. You know, what extreme fears kind of happen here and were very undervalued. All of that 8 step, I will show you kind of later on, was just all hit. Yeah. And that's kind of what happened. Even way before as well, a lot of things that happen is actually a lot of them is due to the Fed, due to the government, etc. Especially when he is in charge. So right now he's a bit smart. Now what he does, whenever he wants to say something negative about the market, he say it when the market is closed. He literally say it when the market is closed. That's quite powerful. Yeah, he said it literally in the market is closed. Like yesterday, he talked about, he wants to increase tariff for Korea a little bit, and he said when the market is closed, so nothing's gonna happen. So what happened to Korea? Let's have a look. He say kind of, yeah, he say kind of when market is closed, so it doesn't affect the markets big time like that. Yeah, because this time is a midterm election, so it's really important for people's pension, for the stock market to um so there's a affordability, a lot of things he has to kind of do. Yeah, but our strategies are still really powerful. Being patient, being disciplined is really one of the most important part. A lot of the big guy that you saw, one of our good friend Guy Spear did Data Roma. Let's see. Yeah, like Data Roma, for example, this guy Spear, one of the hedge funds, etc. In Q4, he literally sell everything. Q4, he literally sold everything. Q4 2025, he sold Berkshire, he sold Mastercard, he sold Ferrari, he sold Express, he sold Bank of America, he sold Micron, he sold Alibaba, he sold everything. Even though everything goes up, a little bit is probably sideways, etc. But he doesn't really care. He sold everything like that. That's crazy. Guy Spear, one of the big guy, quite famous, one of the value investor. Yeah. So he sold everything like that. Um, um, for apprentices, you probably know about these strategies. Sometimes it's nice to know what the big guys, or the big whales and kind of are doing. We call it a super investor. Are doing. We don't really want to follow them 100% like that. We don't really copy. We don't really follow anyone like that. We always do our own analysis. Yeah, and whenever they talk about a certain stocks, what we do is we plot the guidance graph. Yes, we plot the beautiful guidance graph, and we kind of take it from there. Yeah. So if you look at it carefully, the last quarter, the last top buy last quarter, top buy the two last quarter, there's been a top buy is kind of like mm, is kind of like, yeah, like that and like that. So what I normally do, if they say it's a top buy of the last two quarter means the last 6 months, okay? If they say it's a top buy of the last 6 months, what I usually will do, I will usually draw all of the guidance graph and making sure the growth rate of this all of these companies at least 10%. And if I'm interested, then I get onto it. If I'm not interested, then I'm like, it's fine. Yeah. But these are just for a reference. These are just to see if they fit our more than 30% kind of growth rate. That's kind of what happened. And at this moment in time, in this 1 week to 2 weeks time, is a lot of earning release going on. Yes. Yep, it's incredible. A lot of earning release going on. Let me just show you what companies are releasing earnings very quickly so you can have a look very quickly. Um, let me see. Yeah. So it's usually like that. Where are we? So that's kind of what, oops, not very clear, but there we go. So sometimes by reading some earnings, you kind of can know what's actually happening to the economy, to the stocks. As we talked about last week, our bottom up strategies from the bottom, we pull it up. And what would you have? The Boeing was releasing earnings today. United Heath was releasing earnings today. And what happened? And in the earnings, this is where you want to read the guidance very quickly. And the guidance was not very good. So the stock actually crashed 10%. And then yesterday, we kind of kept the Obama whatever fix their term, fix their pay for the insurance. So this kind of affected a little bit. It kind of came down 10 to 20% a little bit like that. So yeah, that's kind of what happened. But eventually it will still kind of recovers. We kind of have to do our analysis a little bit. It will still recovers because as long as the growth rate is still okay and the guidance next time if it's increasing, that is fine. Yeah. So yeah, but if I want to buy something right now, I kind of want to buy something at extreme fears. I will want to buy something that's grow more than 30%. Otherwise, it's kind of waste. Boeing, UPS, GPR, Synchrony as well. Financial is one of the interest rate and stuff like that we talk about. Is only growing at 1 to 2%, and you want it to grow at least 15% if you want things to go up really nicely. So tomorrow we got a little bit of Meta, we got a little bit of Microsoft going on, we have ASML going on. So if you know whether the market is gonna go out or whether the market is gonna come down, it's really depending on how a lot of our big tech is going to do. Tesla is going to come out tomorrow. So a lot of things have coming out tomorrow. We have Visa, we have MasterCard, we have Apple. Apple has been crashed big time. Let me show you Apple. Uh, Apple has been coming down big time. We have Magnificent Seven stocks. Two stocks has been crashing down big time. It's Microsoft and Apple and Netflix as well. Yeah, they've been coming down a little bit. That means everything is going higher, but this is going down since like December a little bit, and now coming back then like that. Yeah. So if you want to know exactly what's gonna happen, if it's very simple. You go exactly what happened last year, and people often not sure about strategies and stuff like that. All you need to do is back test. If you're not sure about anything, just back test, and you will be one of the most confident person in the world. You don't have to look at anything and stuff like that. You just have to back test a little bit. Okay, so you can see even though it's making like that, and eventually the extreme fear comes, it all comes back here. Yeah. And let's just go back to our season a little bit. So you kind of expect what's gonna happen. Mm, very so usually now it's the earnings season, is exactly what we said. So now January usually is like that. The first half is a bit tricky, and then the second half is going up a little bit. This the end is it will go up a little bit like that. So this is really, really where greed is gonna happen and extreme greed is gonna happen. Okay. Right now, our market is just on where? Let me just check. Our market right now is just on greed at the moment. Okay, greed. So you probably feel a little bit of greed. You feel like you want to buy something. You feel like I want to do something. You want to feel like I want to put some money in. Let me put the emotion graph for you for trading and investing. And as weird as it sounds, this is called the psychology of a market cycle. I show you many times, but I'm here to keep you disciplined. You feel like you're really thrilled. You want to buy on margin. You feel like you're a very genius right now. And you get really, really excited right now because that's actually what happened. And people are getting a bit greedy right now. They really want to get on it and start doing something. And um yeah, sitting down and waiting is actually probably the most important part. So as you say, even if you buy right now, if you buy last time in January time, you are just a little bit up a little bit, but eventually it's still gonna come back down. But if you see it's going up, it's not going up. Excuse me, it's not going up because you're a foreign investor. You are not going up. You're actually coming down, if anything. Yeah. So that's kind of what happened. And if I show you FTSE, some people will be like, can I buy my own country stocks then? Yes, you can. That would be a good idea. But because it's just a few weeks left before our pound gets weaker. So according to here, it says that pound is going to get stronger all the way to the end of the year. Sorry, the end of the month. February is just gonna crash. It's gonna be a bit tricky for our pound a little bit. Okay, so let's go to US dollars. How's US dollar gonna react? US dollar gonna react a little bit. Where's US dollar? Yeah, the US dollar. So the first month is just a bit tricky like that. Okay, it's not good to look at the US dollar because we are always converting something to another. So we're just gonna do that. Yeah, so that's kind of what happened. And so just to give you some recap, that means, you know, when is a when is that gonna happen? So it can happen as soon as the market earning release kind of finishes because we're very hot and big topic right now. So things are gonna go like that a little bit. So usually it will happen. Okay, people often ask me when is it gonna happen. Let me show you when it's happened. So in last year, 2025, February, it happens on end of February like that. So right now it's really important for those who are watching those who are hesitant and stuff like that. Now it's really the time for you to want to learn how to do it now. Yeah. And because if you join, a lot of people like to get into trading and investing, or they want to learn it after the crash. And by the time you learn it, you finish the crash. So a lot of people join our training like last year, probably after May, after June. You kind of miss that out and you have to wait for 1 more year. So if anyone was doing, you want to learn anything now, you don't want to wait for other people's success, you want to see other people's success, you don't need to do that. Like we got some people who got in, all in during the last extreme fears, and those people who got in, they have been with me for quite some time. Like Patrick, for example. How much did you make, Patrick? That in the chat box. On the last extreme fears, how much did you make in April? That in the chat box. So people can see. So, but for those who just joined a little bit, you are still learning, you are still feeling it. So now is the best time to feel it so that you don't waste your time to feel it later. And what else? And then we've got what else do we have? We've got, let's see, what do we have here? This is 2024. Let's go to 2023. 2023. It was just in February time. Okay, this is 2023. The extreme fears kind of happened a little bit in February time. Yeah, this is 2023. What about the year before? The year before was just on kind of almost February time. Okay, February time was climbing back up, trapping a lot of people. End of January like that. It's called end of January effect. Going back up like that before it come back down really big time. And what else? One, two, three. Yeah, that's kind of there going on. So February and March, historically, I've never seen one time where February and March stock goes up. Yes, you can go back and see. Show me one time. February and March stock goes up. Let me know one time. 2022, same thing, February and March. Stock was coming down like that. You can see it looks small, but when you zoom in, it's huge. Okay, when you zoom in, it's huge. It looks small now, but it's one of the biggest. This is actually the Corona. Corona even is February and March. Um, yeah, March a little bit fallen here. February, it's getting a bit smaller. February, we're just there. And where are we? This is 2018. Same thing here. February, March, coming back down like that. Yeah. Historically, 9 out of 10 times, that's where. Oh, this is just Apple. Okay. I'm looking at Apple. I'm starting to look at SP 500, but Apple is fine. This is why it's not crashed so much because Apple is a very strong stocks. 10 years ago because iPhone changed the world. And yeah, you can see version of March like that. Okay. Yeah. So that's kind of what happened in the past 20 years of things like that as well. Where are we? Cool. So that is where we are right now. Yeah. So just around there. Cool. So now is really the best time ever to kind of prepare a little bit. So if you look at it carefully, okay, let me just go back and just kind of show you. If you feel any kind of weird feelings right now, if you go back last year, the weird feelings is exactly the same as this year weird feeling. Okay. So last year was just in 24. Today we're in 27. Yeah. Last year 24, last year was just going up 27 like that. 27, 28. It was going up like that, this kind of last year. And he has been going almost nowhere like that. Very similar. We saw that just now. Our SP 500 has gone nowhere like that. And what? What do you want it to do? You want it to go up like a rocket right now? It's already went up so much like that. And you want it to continue to go up like that? Wow. You want to continue to go up like that? Yeah? And going up like that. Yeah? So that's kind of what happened. You can't be going up like that. So I was asking about good. I love that. About what? Mm, about what? Okay, about dollar a little bit. People are asking, oh, is the dollar devaluing right now? Should we be careful about what happened to dollar? All right, let's do trading view a little bit. Let's look at dollar. What I'm gonna do US 500 and I'm gonna type like that. And I'm gonna add dollar. Yeah, US dollar like that. Is it coming in? US dollar. US dollar like that. Mm, it would be nicer if I can add US GBP US dollar. Yeah, something like that. So, just to make it easier for you to see, I'm gonna change the color of this guy to setting, change this to like red. Okay, this is the stock market. Okay, just accept it for now. Can we make it a candle? A candle. Can we make a candle? It's probably gonna take time if we're gonna change it to a candle. Anyway, this is okay as well. Uh, Scale line status. Why is it line though? Anyway, we're gonna change it later on. Anyway, so the red line is the stock market. The green line is the US dollar basket, just US dollar itself, and the GBP US dollar. Okay. So it's a bit tricky to compare like that. It's a bit a lot. But how am I gonna compare? Actually, let's just do it like that. I think it's easier to see here, kind of get used to this. So if you look at what happened, even okay. So this is what happened to the GBP against US dollar. Okay, this is what happened historically. So in the past 10 years, GBP against US dollar is always like that. Okay, it's always like that. GBP against US dollar is always like that. So what would affect a currency to go up or down? Okay, what's going to affect it? I will tell you a little bit. Usually, it has to do more with its interest rate. Yes, if the US dollar, because Trump is trying his very hard to reduce his interest rate a little bit, yeah, because he wants to stimulate the economy, he wants to encourage people to borrow money to get loans and stuff like that. So that's kind of what happens. So and yeah, so if you see, even during Corona time, which is, let's say, this is the inflation time, 2020, 2021. So they decrease the, okay, how do I show you this in a proper way? Because this is the other way around, so it's very difficult to show you, but I'm going to show you my best. So look, during Corona time, when the market crashed big time, the economy got shut down. They want to encourage people to borrow money, because when you borrow money, you spend money, you stimulate the economy. You are doing good things. So when you spend money, so that's what happened. So in March time, you can see pound against US dollar was going up. That means our pound is getting stronger. That means US dollar is getting weaker. Yeah. So because we are reducing our interest rate to zero at that moment, so it was going up big time. Okay, for those who are interested in forex, this is it. It's quite helpful if you if especially if it's a foreign investor, especially when you're buying US stocks. So that's kind of what happened. So it went up all the way to May 31st. That means that the interest rate was going down all the way. US dollar basket was crashing it down big time all the way. And then to a certain point, they say, you know what, guys, inflation is too high. Let's stop people from borrowing money. Let's increase the interest. So when they increase the interest, US dollar gets stronger again. So US dollar was getting stronger big time. So when US dollar gets stronger, market was crashing also big time. It's usually opposite. Okay, when the currency goes up, stock goes down. Inversely proportional. When and when the currency goes up, stock goes down. When the currency goes down, stock goes up. Usually, yeah, theoretically. Why? Because people cannot borrow money to buy your stock anymore. So because you increase interest rate. So that's what happened. And then 2026 or September 2022, so obviously and then they started to increase the interest rate, and then that's kind of what happened. So if I show you US dollar basket, it's probably easier to see. So you can just see it without comparing one to another. So US dollar basket is just how strong the US dollar is. So you see, this is, let's see. So US dollar was getting crashed big time. This is just during in Corona time. US dollar were crashing down big time, and they really want to stop things. Oil was coming down big time. Oil coming down big time. Lots of our students bought a lot of oil in Corona times as well. Yeah. So everything was coming down big time. A lot of students bought technology stocks as well during Corona time because interest rate is low. And yeah, so a lot of students bought small cap stocks. A lot of these small caps, like like a lot of small stocks was going up big time, like all these Peloton, Zoom, in 2000, all of these small cap stocks, because when you reduce the interest rate, people can borrow money. So the debt is very cheap. And small companies, they use a lot of debts. They like to use debt. All successful people use debt. So they use a lot of debts. And what happened? So all of that were going up big time. So suddenly they increase interest rate. Also, all of these small stocks, small company stocks never recover because we increase the interest rate. So interest rate increased big time, and then to a certain point where which is just in January time last year, they really want to cut the rate. So rate has been cutting. So the result of you seeing US dollar getting weaker is just because of the fact that we are actually the government is actually the Fed especially is just reducing the interest rate big time. Okay, now we are here, and probably gonna come down a little bit here before it becomes normal. Okay? People often worry about like dollar is gonna go to zero and stuff like that, like devaluing. This is where fear comes, fear from the market comes. But if you look at the chart really carefully, you realize that wow, it happens all the time, and it happens before many times. Yeah, and usually gets back to normal again. Okay, usually gets back to normal again. If you're really scared, which I don't think you should, you can buy, you know, something that is hedged against your own currency. Okay, against your own currency. But pound is actually at the highest already. It's probably going to be the highest till the end of the month, like that. Yeah, end of the month, doink, like that. And then before pullback going on. Okay. And client sentiment, let's see. 63 shorting. So you want to get to the really peak. When you get to 70% shorting, then usually pound start to get weaker. Okay, then you can go on holiday. Then you can change your pound to other currency. Okay, cool. So that's kind of what happened just right there. Okay, so let's get back right now. Um, let's get back here kind of right now. What I want to show you right now will be, let me just see. Cool. Now what we're gonna do, we're actually gonna look at your homework, okay? We're gonna look at your homework right now. So that means we're gonna look at some of the work. So if, as you say, the bottom-up analysis, from looking at the bottom up, you get to know, oh, what is gonna happen, what is not gonna happen. You get a feeling of it. Talking about UNH as well, the United Heath as well, it's one of the insiders who work in healthcare literally sold the stocks before anything happened. That's also next level as well. Anyway, so let me see. Where are we? Okay, let's go to market screener right now. Awesome. Some students send some homework. I'm just gonna look at your homework. You want to give me access so I can have a look. Okay, give me access right now. I'll wait for you. Sure. So let's see. If you've done your homework, just send it to me so we can have a look. So the way to do the homework is we look from the bottom up, trying to see if there's any crack hole in the companies. Okay, by reading guidance, by seeing how things is going, and because when there's crack hole, usually things will come down straight away as well. Last week, also what happened, Intel. If you've been doing the guidance of Intel, let me show you Intel for a second. So if you still remember Intel government suddenly talk about wanting to acquire Intel. They put 10% into Intel. And then once they put 10% of Intel, and then what happened? And so some bank coming in, SoftBank was coming in, Nvidia was coming in, talking about they're gonna pay Intel, invest in Intel. So stocks been going up since. And then there's a earning release. So lots of our students using our strategies, going through the guidance, and they've been owning it big time. And 2 days, 3 days ago, when there's an Intel earning release coming up, and you will realize that a lot of this money pumping in, companies has to make monies as well. So guidance has to increase as well. So when Intel comes down to the support line, and because so many people invested in Intel, and so many companies investing in Intel, if this P ratio during extreme fears come to the bottom, getting into Intel can be a good thing, because it's especially when it crashed down kind of big time. Lots of read the guidance a little bit, plot it really beautifully, and you will see. Yeah, cool. So let's go to market screener real quick. There is also another website but I don't really want you to use this website because you will become a little bit lazy later on, where it kind of summarize some of the most important thing. Okay, this is it. I think this is the one. So cool. So this is quite nice because 22nd, not really here. Let me see. How do I get the latest one? I kind of have to sign in. But I don't remember my password. I'm just gonna show you. Uh, what's my password? Sure. Let me see if I get my password. Just give me 1 minute. I'm just going to show you some quite a nice, powerful website. Let me see if I can find it. Uh, do I get in or not? Yeah, something like that. This is the latest one. This is not like anything, but it's summarized a little bit for you, just to show you kind of what is going on a little bit. Like GAAP, a company released their earnings, and you kind of see 1.67, 19.548, growth 7%, 7%. So it's really less than 10%. So you'll be like, oh, that's okay. And then there's another AIIT up 4.6%, 8.4, 3.9%. We kind of want it to be more than 15%. So EPS, this is a guidance. So 10, EPS 10, sales 5 plus 7. So you can read it a little bit just here. This is a company, Applied Industrial. You really kind of a little bit 8.4% net sales over the previous year. So it's okay. We kind of want something kind of increase a little bit bigger. So let me see. How do I filter super fast? Like this guy, like net income SYF is Synchrony Financial, the one that we post on our reel. Is talk about, I like to look at the percentage. The numbers doesn't mean anything to me. So loan was up 3%, and what book value up 13%, net charge of 5 down BPS year over year. So because it's down, so SYF was coming down a little bit. You know, it came down 5% that we talked about just now. SYF. Yeah, it came down around 6%, 5.99%, a little bit like that. So, and this is just like because sometimes today announced draft quarter, you kind of, as you say, it's about bottom up analysis. So we kind of find some companies we are really interested in that is quite interesting, and then we do it from there. Yeah. So you kind of, if something is interesting, you go more into detail like that. You know, you type investor website, you click on it, and you see it properly. But let me look at market screen. I'm not sure why is it not loading. Okay, let's get some students' homework first. Awesome, beautiful. Okay, let's look at this beautiful student homework. So, this is what? This is that. And first revenue year over year. First of all, I don't think so. This is guidance. This is probably reported number. Okay, let me look at this. Crane full year. Is this guidance? Let's see. 9.9331. I'm not entirely sure if this is guidance. Is this guidance or full year? Yeah, it's a bit tricky. It looks like already reported number. Full year revenue. How do I know? Let me see. Q4 diluted EPS. I have a feeling this is not guidance. This is probably reported number, because guidance will always have a range. Yeah, I think it's a reported number. But well done though. Well done. Information on top is the guidance. Information on top. Okay. Well done. So I just want you to change all of these words into guidance. Okay. We are only plotting the guidance. You're doing really, really well. And this is why when you do the homework, you will get to correct your blind spots. Otherwise, you will never be able to figure it out for 10 years. Yeah. Change all of these words into guidance. You're doing really, really well. Well done. Cool. So let's go to market screener. Not sure why market screener is not loading. Is market screener loading on your side, guys? Is it loading? Bit tricky, isn't it? Is it loading on your side? It's not loading for me. Okay. Yep. Okay. So it's not loading a little bit. Hence, I was going on this Twitter a little bit. So anyway, so it's a bit maintenance a little bit. So Now, this is it. You know, we have a very, very big expectation to a lot of these companies like ASML, one of the financial companies, Microsoft tomorrow. Microsoft is what companies is this? This is like a software company. Microsoft and Adobe and ServiceNow. A lot of these companies has been crushed big time because of AI. The appearance, the emergence of AI has killed a lot of jobs. And one of the jobs or companies, so one of the companies that kill a lot is a software company like Adobe. Because now you ask AI to design a beautiful picture, it designed like that. And while long time ago you have to buy Adobe, you have to paint it, design it, edit it, all of that stuff. Designers, big time, very difficult. So now AI comes in, and so a lot of these Microsoft, a lot of these Adobe, they kind of a bit tricky, okay, unless they pivot, unless they do something to change their companies, okay, then they will be quite fine. Yeah, so that's what happened. So Tesla is coming in as well. Um, what else? IBM, Waste Management. Apple is coming in on Thursdays as well. Visa, a lot of these, you kind of have a feeling by looking through the guidance, you have a feeling of SoFi, very, very famous, very top companies. American Express probably going to do bad because we are increasing the interest rate. So you can see things kind of follow itself. Today we have this Synchrony. Synchrony is a financial sector, okay? Synchrony coming in, dropping their guidance, and it was the result wasn't very good, and it normally affects the whole financial sectors. Amex later probably going to be a bit tricky like that as well, and so you can kind of relate one to another if you go deep into Synchrony. So let's choose some companies to talk about that I think is quite interesting. So let me continue here. So a lot of people say not loading, that's fine. NTBB, so this is 13%, 16%. If you look at it carefully, and I down 1%. So you want everything to go up, to buy this. What company is this? This is NBT Bank Corp. Net income, stuff like that. 200 employees. The fourth quarter will deliver strong. On average, we posted. Let me click this. What's going to happen? We reported retail tangible equity. Okay, let me remove this again. So let me go back here. Let's type this company NBTB. NBTB. Yep. So it was a bit. This is a bank. It's coming down a little bit like that. Okay. Oops. I'm so scared. This AIT, Applied Industrial, Apply AIT net sales like that. 11%, 4.6%, 8.4%, 3.9%. Because everything is less than, look, sales up 5.5 to 7%. Last time was 4.6%. Net sales 8.4. Now it's only 5.5 to 7. So you want to have a ability to tell, do you think this is going to go up or do you think it's going to come down? Okay, you want to have the ability to tell. A lot of our students do have the ability to tell us as well by reading things like that, and they have a feeling. Type the chat box. By reading this, do you think the stock is going to go up or go down? It's a bit tricky. It's very tricky, but try your best by reading this statement. Do you think investor like it or do you think investor doesn't like it? Take your time. Read the statement. I'm going to teach you how to read statement today. So this is, yeah, just really like that. Just really like that. So first net sales, it says up year over year 8.4, up 2.2. Net income up 4.6 year over year. Operating income up 3.9. So these are all already past result. And the thing is, we don't really care about all this. Operating cash flow, quarter increase, announcing. And then adjusting full year 26 guidance. This is what we read. This is what we read. We read nothing else, just this. And it says EPS now 10 to 10.75. 5.5 to 7. This is it. So you read it says 5.5 to 7, the sales. And before that was 8.4, guys. Now it's dropped to 8.5. So what is this? Do you understand what I'm saying? So just understand a little bit. So I'm teaching you how to understand financial statement where even MBA will not teach you how to understand. So look, this is the company name, reported earnings. This is the past result, already happened. It says the net sales is 8.4 year over year. Would you agree? Yeah. That means this year, your company made 8.4 year over year. Okay. Sales. Imagine you have a job, your job increased 8.4 salary. They say that, excuse me, next year your salary is going to go to 5.5 to 7. So buy or sell. Down the chat box for me. Oops. Yeah, time. Buy or sell. Down the chat box for me real quick. Oops. Awesome. Reshma says, sell. Nora says, sell. Laura says, sell. Jack says, sell. Well done. We have Anne, we have Andu, Donata. How have you been, Donata? We say sell. Deshaun says sell. Let's have a look. Let's have a look whether it's true or not. Okay. You are the one who say, I did not tell you. So you type apply industrial technology. Just type like that. Apply industrial technology. So I just want to say congratulations to a lot of you who say sell, because this is how much you're going to make. You're going to make from here. You know, it came down really, really nicely like that. You're going to make from, where are we? You're going to make from 2.8 and coming down like that to 2.6 like that. Yeah. So if you put 10 pounds per point, you make 20,000 pounds just like that. Yeah. Coming back down. So well done to Doshon, well done to Vishal, saying sell, Louis, Sean, Nora, Jack, all of this. We need to compare guidance. Yes, you also need to compare guidance with other guidance as well. Really, really good. Yeah. But this is a bit obvious because you kind of see it here. It says 8.4. This is previous. Okay. This is like previous. This is like the year has already finished and it's telling you that, okay, this is what happened, already finished. Okay. This is the date, January 26th. It's finished. Guys, the year is finished. We are up 8.4 the sales. And then suddenly they say, guys, you know what? Next year, we're going to make 5.5. You'll be like, what? What's happening here? Yeah. So well done for a lot of you who learn how to do this beautiful thing. Cool. And let's do another one. Because our market screener is not working today for some reason. So we have so many things. Market screener not working. We have another website. We have another website. But the best website is actually by going through earning guidance straight away. Yeah, by going to companies. So what do you mean? So you type here, United Heath, you type investor. Boeing, you type investor. UPS, you type investor. GM, you type investor. RTX is a defensive thing. Type investor. American Airlines, type investor like that, and you will know so many things. UNP, let's have a look. So what is a but by reading this, you wouldn't really know anything. You kind of want to know the reason why it came down, okay? To see whether it's company specific or it's a whole thing. Yeah. So you have to go a little bit detail a little bit. So do the same thing again. UNP, what is this? What is this? Net income was what? 7.5. Now the problem is they didn't say how much. The revenue up 1%, operating ratio, best ever safety service, freight car velocity, and the next year guidance. They're telling you that it is whatever that is, it's mid-single digit EPS growth. So obviously, in order for us to do it, we have to compare the salary. We have to compare the salary. What is the salary before? The salary before was EPS. the full year OR, full year return, or full year return. Okay, it says here, our 2020-25 reported net income grew 6%. Okay, and here the EPS growth mid-single digit. The first thing that comes to your mind, what is mid-single digit? Most people will not know about this if they don't have a mentor. Mid-single digit means it's mid-single digit. That means it's 4, it's 5, it's 6. Okay. So that's where you compare. You'll be like, our reported number net grew 6%, earning per share increased 8%. Earning per share, EPS grew 8%. Mid-single digit EPS. So, and we improve our operating margin, we work through all of that, reported number, all of that. So these are the reported number. These are the past tense. I'm teaching you how to read it. This is the past tense. So it's already kind of happened. So what happened when it's already happened? And mid-single digit. Mid-single digit. It's like 4, 5, 6, kind of like 7. So let's see what time, 8 hours ago. So in this situation is kind of like, because it's not so clear, so we don't really look at this because it's not very clear, because it says that earning per share last year was 8, we're up 8 now. Okay, let's read it really super carefully. I want to know the guidance. So okay, let's click this link, see if they give us the proper guidance. Where are we? Where are we? So this is financial. This is on track outlook. Okay, let's read the outlook. Outlook is what we want to compare. And earning per share was grow mid-single digit, consistent with attaining 3-year target of high single digit to low double digit through 2027. High single digit to low double digit, which is like very similar to what we saw operating. So high single digit, just now is 8, remember? So just now was around like, where is the EPS? Adjusted full year and adjusted diluted EPS improved 5%. So this is what already happened. Adjusted EPS improved 5%. Now on the guidance, they say earnings growth mid-single digit. Mid-single digit means 5. Let me ask you a question real quick, guys. 2020-25 is 5% EPS adjusted, okay? 5%. They're talking about next year, 2020-26 is going to be a mid-single digit. It's also 5%. So would you buy or would you sell? Type in the chat box for me real quick. What am I? Cool. So let me see. What's your chat box saying? So a lot of people say do nothing. Yeah. So you're right. It's actually do nothing. Okay. You actually do nothing because, earning per share was mid-single digit and the one before is also mid-single digit. So it's not something you will buy basically. Okay. You wouldn't have bought this thing. Okay. You wouldn't be like, oh, let me just go and buy it. No, you wouldn't have done that. Yeah. Let's have a look. Union Pacific. Let's see. So you wouldn't have bought this thing, and let's see what actually happened. So 5 is the same. So yeah, the stock price were probably quite similar. Yeah, it's going nowhere, no jump, no nothing. It's just going sideways like that. Yeah, just going sideways like that, up and down, up and down, up and down the whole day. Cool. So well done. So you can see, you start to get good at it. So well done for a lot of people who did not say buy. And so that's what. That is our Where are we? AIT. What else? NWBI. Do 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 do. Net income, record revenue. What is this? Let's read this together a little bit, because this is a little bit interesting, it looks like. No. Do 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 do. So, very simple. You do the same thing. You look at what happened before and what happened next year. So how do we do it? Let's have a look. Year to date, EPS was 16 growth from the previous year. Revenue was 17% growth from the previous year. So we need the guidance, and they actually did not tell us the guidance, I think. Is there a guidance? You have to click that link to find out about the guidance. Let's see. So total internet guidance is always at the back of the page. If they give, if they don't give, then it's fine. Because usually bank wouldn't give you a guidance. What is this? Unfortunately, they didn't give. Okay, bank usually don't give guidance. Not sure why. The full year, yeah, there's no guidance there. If there is, they will say it here. PCAR as well, net income, revenue, like that. There's no guidance there. CAG up 6%, revenue up 5%, full year 25 to 23%, strong credits. Okay. 6% business, we are not really interested. Yeah, anything lower than 15% business, we are not really interested. CAC, let's see this. But the net income was up 23. Net income for the quarter was only up 6. Okay, this could be interesting. 23%. Year over year, 23%. Quite, more than 15% business. So this is quite nice. Revenue up 5%. Maybe this is just quarter to quarter. CAC, let's see what is that. Can't see it. Can't see. Maybe I'll click this. SYY, raising the guidance. Okay, let's look at this a little bit. SYY, what is this? Net earnings was 389. Net earnings was 476. Sales was 20. Gross profit was 3.5. This actually means nothing. Local, this is the only thing that means something. Guidance 4.5. So you have to compare last time EPS. The EPS, they are talking about 4.5. So you want to see what's the last time EPS. Don't think the last time EPS is 0.81. This is just quarter. So you have to go back to full year EPS. This is just a quarter. This is just Q2 quarter. So how do you find the full year? Probably they're going to give it here, or you have to go to the website. Key guidance, sales increase 3%, gross profit 3.9%, 2.8, 4.2, 0.8, 1.2. Where is it? EPS, isn't it? So sales, profit, net income, where's EPS? AB fund net earning, EPS decrease adjusted 6.5. So they didn't really say the full year. 1, 2. Given the progress we are making, we are expect our full year guidance to be at the high end of our previous provided range of 4.5 to 4.6. So they already compare for you. So they're saying that last time is 4.5, now is 4.6. Yeah, that's kind of what happened. So that's also quite similar. Yeah, and the list goes on and on and on. Let's see. Yep, that's good. And that's fine. We can just continue here for a second. ALCNEE. So this is 8% guidance, EPS through 32. Guidance, where is it? Let me see. Net income full year and year over year. What is this? Guidance 8% plus adjective. Oh, adjusted. 8%. So we want to see what happened last time. Last time it was 8.2%. 8%. Full year adjusted was 8. EPS growth through that. So this is also a little bit like a little bit similar. So this is the energy full year 8%, 3%. Okay, want to find something that's more than 10% drop, something that is huge. If you want to make a lot of money, if something's to be look for, you want something huge. Full year 23%, 25. Western Alliance back home. This is kind of like a nice business because the net income was increasing by that amount, 23%. So if any business that's increased like 23%, it's kind of like Boeing. Revenue was up 57%. That's crazy. Let's see. Acquire, okay, so because they acquire a company, underscoring revenue was increasing like that, earnings, cash flow, full year was like that. This is a full year. And all of that, Boeing, Blacklow, make significant progress. Okay. This is okay. Can't really see the guidance on acquire complete. So the reason for the revenue increase because they acquire a new company. So, not something super impressive. 76 billion before EPS 29. So it looks like a increase 6.7%. We finished consistent in the full quarter compare. Do. 'CA healthcare revenue was increasing like that. Do. Cool. This one is quite powerful and quite interesting. Let's read it together one time and see what's going on. So let's zoom in and tell me how you feel. So let's go to one by one. Revenue increased 6.7%. This is all in the past. Last year, that's what happened. Net income increased 30%. Okay, this is compare Q4 to Q4. Okay, this is compare last year to last year. Okay. 44%, adjusted 10%, cash flow doesn't really increase. Facility. We finished with a strong work. Our investment strength. I want to thank my colleague. Revenues 19 compared to 18. Result from. So there's no guidance here, so we have to click the guidance on there. So let's go back there and click the guidance on that thing. So the link is here. So always say guidance is always at the bottom. Well done. So let's see this. Undo. I'm just gonna go through this a little bit. This stock market screen is very long. Highlights, operation income, financial conditions. Because they say the guidance was 76.5. So I'm gonna alternate F 76.5 here. See if it comes up. So it doesn't come up. 76.5 is not coming up on the press release. That's interesting. So what about this? 80 billion. Let's put 80. If the 80 billion is gonna come out or not. I don't think so. It's coming up. Not coming up. Not coming up. Okay. So there is no press, there's no earnings. Okay, I think it's a different company. Is it a different company? Yeah, just now was a different company. Cool. So this is the guidance, okay? Guidance was like that, 76. Let's read it really carefully to see what's going on. For the fourth quarter, facility, all of that. Revenue ended, all of that. Balance sheet, all of that. Share repurchases. Wow, they want to buy back their shares at 10 billion, guys. They want to buy back 10 billion of their shares. So if you're not buying, someone else is buying. 2026 revenue, 76. Net income, 6. Now, we don't just use this like that. We want to see what happened in the past. So they kind of told you what happened in the past already. Okay, I know, Andrew. Thank you so much. The revenue, 76. And this is a full year. Okay, this is a full year. Okay. Okay, so let's go back to HCA. So we can't really compare. Let me tell you my thinking process. A lot of people make this mistake. They compare revenue 19. They compare 19 with 76. And then they say a lot of money is made. You can't really do that because this is a quarter, okay? This is a full year. So you can't just compare that to that. So you have to compare full year. So you have to go through another step. That HCA, healthcare, investor. And you go on there. What is this? Wow, it's a lot of things. And you just click on that. We want events presentation. Let's do a presentation a bit. No event. This one, earnings call. Quarterly result. Oh, what is this? This one, Q4. Okay, so this is the one that's today. Let's look at last time. This is October, which is 6 months before. So this is the guidance, 76, 6. What else? 14, 25. And then now, January 27, they change it to 76, 6, 15. What is this? Let me see. 74, 76, 6, 6, 14, 15, 25, 29. Okay, how much is 25 to 29? It's 4. 4 divided by 25. Buy or sell? Type in the chat box for me real quick. Yeah, you tell me. So this is October numbers. Let me have a look. July. October number is like that. It's 75, 6, 15, 27. We shall look at this one. 75. And then it changed to 76. And then 6.4, change to 6.4. 15, change it to 15. Well, 27, change it to 29. Those 2 divided by, like, would you sell this thing? Would you sell it? Down the chat box, would you sell it? Yes or no? Down the chat box, would you have sold this thing? You know, when the net income from 27 change it to 29. So 2 divided by 27 times 100. It's around 7.4% increase in their EPS. Okay. Would you have sold this thing? So Louis say no, Anne say no, one guidance and the other is the guidance. Misha say no, Masaka say no, Abby say no, Sean say no, Andrew say no. Well done. So let's have a look if you are right or if you are wrong. Let me see if you are right or wrong. There's no right or wrong because it's just today. HCA Healthcare. HCA Healthcare. This guy. So that's what happened. So you wouldn't have sold that because it actually went up. Okay. It went up like that. Will you buy that straight away? It's a bit too high for us to buy that straight away. So we wouldn't have sold that anyway. You can see it's coming up like that big time. You went up around 7% today, very similar to similar to what? Very similar to very similar. Taking about money from Harry. Cool. Awesome. Next one. Oh, no, how do we look at the next one? We're gonna go into is let me see. Do. Where I am. Okay, I'm here. Okay, cool. So we basically want to look for the biggest one just to make it easier. PII sales guidance 1 to 3, 1.5 to 1.6. What is this? EPS, so they really say adjusted EPS 0.05, sales up. This is just a quarter 4, sales up 9 to 9% guidance. So we kind of have to announce full year guidance. Do we get to see the full year guidance? Yep. They removed it, so we can't really see. Okay. What are we? BPO. 36 year over year. There's no guidance here, but 36% is a very good it's a very interesting company. BPO. It's a popular. That's the name of the stock. Yeah. Because it's more than 30%. So you can see if you bought at extreme fears, you have double your money like that. Yeah. Hence we chose things that is more than 30%. To revenue plus 7. Full year 1.7. Rob. This is what? 21, 5. IVZ. Okay. That's about that. Outlook positive. Let's go to market screen a little bit. Someone says back. Let's see. So market screen is a bit easier. You just go on news, and what you do, you just choose a topic that you want. Go to equity, and equity there's a lot, so we can't just go to equity. We just want to go for corporate finance, and then you want to look for guidance decreases and profit warnings. Okay, if you are looking for that kind of stuff. Buying is a bit easier to make money, but we're just doing it for fun. Just want to see what we got here. So Manhattan healthcare has a big problem. What? Liaoning Chengdang Bios expect up to 64 fall in 25 profit. Okay, let's look at this. This is one of the Chinese company. Forecast would decrease. Manufacture fall from its human rabies vaccine and higher insect costs. If we compare last time, if it is not 59, we would have shorted this. Okay. Apply, we talk about just now 10 VS estimate of 10.69. Apply industrial. Isn't this come down just now? AIT. Yeah, it dropped 7%. We talked about just now, remember? Yeah, AIT. Because it's 10. Estimate was a lot higher. Polaris expect what? 1.5, 1.7. Also down a little bit. Let's open all of this. See, you can short them. MG Shanghai expect 54. Construction company. Pareto reiterate expect Major loss due to write-off, withdraw financial target, evil slim outlook, lower forecast, provides earning guidance, issue, expect human to incur loss, barren, widen, yen. On forecast. MCC, a lot of forecast drop profit going on. Xinjiang still expect net loss to have widened. Chongqing Pharmaceutical expect. Wow. Is it always like that, these China companies? Margin to decrease of China. Metal Corporation of China. Oh, Metal is China company. What I'm trying to do now, I'm just trying to open all of the things that's going down to see what's going on. Shanghai. That's what you should be doing. And you plot the graphs and then you send it to us on Tuesday. That's how apprentices has been making money. They read through this vigorously. Ubisoft, the Procter Gamble revised earnings is cuts guidance again. Procter and Gamble, Clarence cuts outlook. B&M. Gibraltar. JD Spoon. Anticipate annual trading. Nice, let's see. Okay, let's see one by one. We done that. We just have to plot the earning guidance graph to see what's going on with this. If this is keep going down, then we can short them. Just gonna copy this and put it on there. Just to plot the graphs a little bit. What is this? 27 of Jan. You know, plot the graphs. What's this? Plot the graphs to see if this drop is normal or not. It's happened before or not, okay? That's for apply. Remove that. Polaris as well. 1.5, 1.7. Effect set means analyst is expecting 1.7. So you kind of have to plot these as well. So plot these things as well. Yeah. Otherwise, it's going to be a short. Shanghai construction. Let's see. Forecast 45. Number sign decline of emission. But do you want to say the reason? A lot of S4 this is a UK thing. Expect light to down circa 8.5. We have to compare to see what happened. MCG losses in real estate business and impairment provision on assets, including okay. So the draw was mainly driven. So this company is a metal company, construction company, sorry. And because no one is buying houses, they are not doing quite well on there. Okay. This is what? This is a steel business company. Net loss. We need to see what happened before. Expect net loss to have widened. So we need to see what happened before as well. pharmaceutical expects 70% drop in the net profit. You see what happened to the past as well. Say decrease versus the previous year. Margin decreased by 1.5%. Interesting. We need to know more. Metallurg, we talked about that just now. The Procter and Gamble, let's see this. Guidance was now 1 to 5 compared to previous year. Outlook 1 to 6. Previous was 3 to 9. So this is this should be a short. We're going to short this. Just going to copy this for you. And obviously, it's nice to be more than 10%. It's a short a little bit because it used to be adjusted, used to be 3 to 9 from previous guidance. Yeah, and change it to 1 to 6. Okay, so this is like a short. Plot the graph to see if this has never happened before. It's never happened before, then you do it. Do in your practice account so you can see it if you are a beginner. Ubisoft won deeper, has withdrawn. So this guy withdrawn his outlook. Cuts outlook on weaker demand. Alpha. We have revises our EPS. Last time was 0.9, now 0.75. Last time 4.3, now 3.9. It's not very CHF. We revises all of that. Okay. Catalyst lower pressuring. We'll look at some good ones later on as well. This one, 440. Need to see what happened before. Gibraltar. Lower from 0.72 from 1.04. Revises Q6, 283 to 261. Full year, 4 to 3. Revises his guidance 1 to all of that. Yep, you kind of have to like backtest a little bit, but we will still short this person. I'm just going to copy all of this. Yeah, this is Gibraltar. Why? Because his lower is Q4 guidance from 1 to 0.7. And then the sales also from 283 to 261. The full year, which is more important, 42 to 388. And then what? 115 to 113. Okay. Interesting. Plot it. Plot the graphs properly to see if it has happened before like that or not, based on the training. Anticipate full year grown, all of that. What about the one before? You didn't really say what happened before. Weatherspoon. Provide earning guidance. Companies increase momentum. Profits are first half to be lower. The current sales continue anticipate a full year slightly below that achieved. Yeah. So they're saying that Weatherspoon, it's going to be a bit tricky a little bit, but they didn't really say how much. So you kind of have to open it just to see how much. But I think that UK government is doing something to help the pubs. Yeah, Weatherspoon. Not sure why. It's nice if they tell us the reason. Why is it like that? They have that survive tax hike. Plans 100 million annual to survive for the pub. Wow. Tax hike. But talking about the sales, okay, let's look at Weatherspoon, guys. Let's see why the British people are not spending their money in the pub. So let's go to investor. Let's see what is happening to the British public. Let's open all of these gender pay gap, all of these things. What is this? January 21st. All of that's done. Okay, just that. Report result. Click here. General meeting. Regulatory. But anyway, let's read this a little bit. This is 21st of January. JD Sport, Weatherspoon is telling you something. So let's see what they are telling you. JD Spoon sales was 4.7 higher in the same period a year ago. So last in the week two, so previously was very good, 4.7. Bar sales was quite good. Food was good. People are ordering food. Slot fruit machines 9. Hotel room sales. I didn't know they have hotels. Was down a little bit. LFL, that total sales grown 5%. Christmas was also up. Okay, last year was quite good. Let's see why this year wasn't. Interest cost, all of that debt level year to date, they repurchase their own share for cancellation at an average of 7.2. Property, they have 6 pubs in London Bridge, we have 1 in Merchant Square, Paddington, we have 1, and all of that. Anticipate open another 15 pubs. 6 pubs have been sold in the year given the rise of net flow of income. And in addition, 8 franchises, pubs is opening the year today, bringing the up to date to 16. Another 15 is opening. And the first one is in Spain, in the airport. Outlook, we are pleased. Okay. Costs have been higher than anticipated. The energy, the wages, the repairs, the business rates increased 45 million. Profits in the first half are likely to be lower. They didn't really say why though. If the current profits momentum, anticipate a full year to be achieved. We will provide updates as we progress through the year ends. They didn't really say why. They're probably gonna say on the transcript. Let's try the transcript. Let's see. Weatherspoon transcript. What is this? This is a gender pay gap. Earning transcript. Ooh. We want a January one. So let's do a January 2025. Sorry, 2026. The transcript going on. What's going on there? Not really a transcript. I type JD weather spoon. Just like that. Let's go to all news. See if there's any transcript for us. JD spoon, all of that original document. Didn't really say. Expansion continues. Let's read about JD Spoon. JD Spoon downgrade sales profit outlook lower. JD Spoon anticipate trading update. JD Spoon. Okay. Where's the transcript? News transcripts. No transcripts. No transcripts. Notice of AGM vote. Just like that. 27. What is this? 27, 21st trading update. That's what we saw. No transcript. They didn't tell us the reason. This is a thing about UK companies. They don't really, even the percentage drop, they didn't really say properly. What is this? Changes, property tax, higher wages, low cost. Yeah, I would normally short them like that, but because outlook in the recent, you stated the main lesson energy offers inflation is almost very poor. The point is standby unavailable. UK to match France 49 reactors. You guys only 9. Most of them will decommissioned by 2000. So far, the logic points. The second point was made that chairman is what common sense, perhaps. Increase differentiate investment bank. What is this? Wow. Chairman Tim Martin is saying so many different things in here. Perhaps the UK power don't feel that we need to try to attract all of that. I have written all of this a final concern. Therefore, okay, okay, okay. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Yep. That's what they say. 21st of January. That's all you get. We are pleased. Costs have been higher. Profits are likely to be lower, but they didn't say how much lower. If currency's momentum increase, anticipate slightly lower. Obviously, we would have short them. Usually on 21st of January, we would have bought them. Let's look at Weatherspoon. Ooh. So that's what happened. It's been coming down like that. And exactly what we talk about. Hmm. Check seasonality a little bit to see how much it's gonna drop. Yeah, it's be nice to know the percentage that it's gonna drop. Because he says it's gonna drop lower than last year. So if last year was here, this could potentially drop here. Lower than last year profit. So last year was here. So coming back down is very normal. Okay. That's interesting. Weatherspoon. There we go. Okay. I think we've done a lot of them now. Bungo BLC. Revenue 52. Last time was 53. Digital payment. It's dropping of their guidance a little bit. Cool. So that's what happened for people who reduce their earnings. Okay. Sometimes you want to know, oh, is the market going to go up or down? You just have to go here and then just remove all these guidance decrease and put it guidance increase. And you will see there's a lot or not. So we have a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit like that. And you're trying to find out which one increase the most. So some China's also quite good. So it's not all bad. Awesome. Do. 26. And then you find out which one increased the most, like the world has never seen before. And there you go. And then you really start from bottom-up analysis. And if that's going to happen, and what's going to happen? Gold company, for example, if you want to know if gold is going to continue to go up or not, just start to analyze the level of a gold company. And you will see how this is going. British Bank to join Euro to hike. To hike what? To hike profit target. Okay. Cool. So that's kind of what happened. And I just wanted to show you seasonality one more time. But if you can go back to many, many years and you can have a look. So yeah, that's kind of what happened. We are very interesting stage. We are just in a stage where a lot of companies are releasing their earnings now. So, so very, very excited for our apprentices because, if you have missed the one that we have last year in April, and now you kind of know exactly what to buy and what to sell then. So that's it for today. And I'm very, very excited for you. And let's make things happen. Awesome. So what do we say? Muse, what do we say? Liu was saying thanks, you're welcome. Vishal was saying thanks. What? I'm saying thanks, Liu saying thanks, Apana saying thanks, Evelyn, Sherin. Hi, what do we have to do now to add? Yes, I want your guidance. Yes. Well done. Rishma and Louis saying good night. I made a lot of money on the last extreme fears. Can't wait to do it again as an elite. Well done. Doing really, really well. Lots of students making a lot of money. Yeah, especially when you be with me for quite some time, you kind of, get ready. But if you just join, now is the best time to get into apprentices. So you kind of get ready. You don't want to get in after the crash, and you're going to miss out again because studying takes time. There's some study we need to do. We need to get you ready a little bit. So get ready now. So excited for you guys. Stay patient, stay disciplined. Remember, um, trading and investing is about going against the crowd. Awesome. Ami, Ajay, Chris, Brandon, Kalini, Donata, Chris, Evelyn, Jack, James, Lance, Laura, Liu Mei, Masaka Muse, Naomi, Nora, Pat, Donata, Reshma, Vishal, Dr. Sharin. Awesome. Speak to you guys soon. Take care now.